Welcome to a new Team CTC 9.8 video. Recently I picked up an all-new Wolverine #1 in the Marquez variant, the 1 for 15 Marquez variant. Just a super badass cover, I think. And all-new Wolverine #1, I think in general, is a pretty undervalued key issue in the modern age. So I was really happy to pick this one up. The more I've had this one, I had it for about a month, I'm sort of considering a few other variants and thinking, maybe I made a bit of a mistake kind of going all in on this Marquez variant, because some of the other variants I think are really cool as well. So we'll talk about those in a second, but what I want to go through right now is how I pretty much overpaid for this one, pretty bad actually. And it was a bit unknowingly I overpaid, so in a sense I'm not too mad at myself because I just absolutely am loving having this one in my collection. But I ended up paying for this one $187.50, $187.50 US dollars. So I definitely looked at some completed listings in the 9.8 on eBay when I had purchased this, and I couldn't really find any. So I had to kind of make some assumptions about the value of this one, and those assumptions were pretty much wrong, to be honest. The way I kind of came up with the 187.50, I saw that the Lopez variant cover in a 9.8 sold kind of in that 170 range. And then I looked on the census and I noticed this Marquez variant cover a little bit tougher in the 9.8 than the Lopez variant cover. It's got a lower 9.8 ratio, and there's less overall 9.8s as well. So I thought, hey, maybe 10 or 15 bucks more than that $170 Lopez variant. At that point, I wasn't really liking the Lopez variant cover that much, but I've come around, I would say, on that one. So that's where I kind of came up with the 187.50, about 10 or 20 bucks more than that 170 bucks that the Lopez variant cover is going for in the 9.8, even though it's not as tough of a 9.8. But just by chance here in the last day or two, I was looking up some all-new Wolverine #1s in the 9.8, and I saw a completed listing for this one, Marquez variant cover in a 9.8 on December 19th. So this is before I purchased this one, but I don't know. I specifically remember doing completed listing searches, and I wasn't able to find anything. But anyways, on December 19th, this one sold for $86 in a 9.8 in an auction. So I paid $187.50. Definitely going down as an overpay. But I'm still really happy to have this one in my collection. I do think overall it's in general undervalued. So I think $86 in that stealthy auction was like a screaming deal. I think a fair value on this one is going to be about $125. If you want it right now, maybe you pay up to $150. Certainly $187.50 is definitely an overpay, I would say, on this one right now. We'll kind of see how the market develops on this one. And there was some positives with a recent variant going for a pretty stiff price. So let's get into those two other variants that I'm considering more now. I think, I like them more the more I see them. And there's some things to like about them. So all new Wolverine #1, the 1 for 25 Lopez variant cover. This one I thought at first was kind of just a bit too plain and kind of, white plain cover for me. I definitely went with the Marquez cover over this one, but over time kind of liking this one a little bit more. And you also like that it is the more rare variant. This one's a 1 for 15, the Marquez. The Lopez variant, a 1 for 25 variant. So there's 106 9.8s in the blue label, 83.5% the 9.8 percentage. So that's more 9.8s and a higher 9.8 ratio than the Marquez variant. But recent sales on the all-new Wolverine Lopez variant cover in the 9.8, $172.50. There was one on my comic shop when I had purchased this for $175. That's a little bit of my regret now. Maybe I should have bought the Lopez variant cover for 10 or 20 bucks less at the time when I purchased this, or maybe I should have bought both of them, to be honest. But I'm not seeing that one on my comic shop. I'm pretty sure it was $175. But anyway, on eBay, $172.50. I saw one sell in the last little bit. Go back a little bit more. I saw one sell for $120 in the Lopez variant cover in a 9.8. So yeah, that Lopez variant cover I'm liking a little bit more. I think that all of these are great to go after, but I think that one, if you can get it closer to 120, I think that's a bit unrealistic now. Sort of around the $170 mark, I think is 1-to-1 on that 1 for 25 Lopez variant cover in the 9.8. So we talked about the all-new Wolverine #1, the J. Scott Campbell variant. This one's called the Cargo Hold Edition on the census. This one got a good buck going in an auction in the last day or two. We documented it on the last price video, $202.50. There's 288 9.8s in the blue label. So this one's the most popular, people got this one graded the most. And I am really coming around on this one. When I saw that one sell for $202.50, I thought, hey, that's pretty good because it's more than I purchased for my Marquez variant cover. But Laura Kinney does look really awesome on this J. Scott Campbell Cargo Hold Edition cover. I'm liking this cover. I'm liking the eye appeal of this cover more and more, and I'm kind of realizing, yeah, like I could see why the most people got this one graded. There's 288 9.8s in a blue label, 82.8% the 9.8 percentage. Still not as tough in the 9.8 as the Marquez variant cover, but I still think it's probably worth a little bit more now. I'm just kind of coming around on the eye appeal, and I'm really liking this Cargo Hold Edition cover. 202.50 in that auction. I think that's pretty bang on fair. And you know, these are ones I'm going to consider now. I do think All New Wolverine #1 is a really good undervalued one. I got the Marquez variant cover, overpaid a little bit, but hopefully I can just be patient moving through 2022 and try to get the Lopez variant cover or that J. Scott Campbell Cargo Hold Edition in the 9.8 for fair prices. So yeah, these are ones I'm going to be on the lookout for. Unfortunately, you know, this one didn't go 100% perfect, but I'm still happy to have it in my collection, albeit a bit of an overpay. And I'll have my eye out on some of these other variants looking throughout this year. All right, team, just a short one today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. If you're liking my content, please subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll keep you updated on future videos.